Yeah, that's another good question. And again, it will vary with people depending on how they view things. Gold always gets the most attention because it's viewed throughout history as money. And like I said, it goes back and forth from its status as a commodity to the ultimate form of money, depending on how governments and currencies are performing. But the record is clear on that gold definitely gets the most attention. And in the secular bull market that started in 2001, gold clearly was the early winner. But what happens in these secular precious metal bull markets is you get in the latter stages, silver outperforms gold dollar for dollar invested. In other words, it lags in the early stages, and this is the case since 2001. The highest we've hit in silver was $50, $49.50 at the time when gold hit $1,950 a year and a half ago. So since then we've backed off, and I liken that to back in the 70s when gold ran from $35 an ounce to $195, and then backtracked all the way to $105. People thought it was over, and then it went to $855. Well, this is where I think we're at right now. This is an excellent time to buy on the dips. We're well below the most recent high. The bull market isn't over. Has anything changed? Has the government suddenly grown a brain? Of course not. It's getting worse. So for me, we're just basically building a really nice foundation for the next big run in precious metals, which will take it into the multi-thousand ounces, thousands of dollars an ounce for gold, and in silver, well over $50 an ounce. So, breaking the percentages up between how much gold and silver should I own? I like to give people this kind of a little analogy. I look at gold. I consider my gold holdings as the Bank of McCoach, my last name. It's the safest bank account in the world. I own it. I control it. As long as I can protect it from fire and theft, I'm going to be in control. And as dollars devalue, the price of that metal is going to go up dramatically to protect my hard work and savings that I've done my life to have those savings in the first place. Silver, I like owning silver for several reasons. I like owning the silver eagles because I'm an American, and I feel like there are going to be problems with civil unrest, and if I need to buy a loaf of bread on the street, let's say there's 10 people wanting to buy this loaf of bread from one guy that's got one loaf of bread. One guy's probably trying to give him the Rolex watch. Well, the guy doesn't care that the Rolex watch was $1,500 in the good economy. What can it get? Nothing. It may not even be able to buy a loaf of bread. There are probably people offering devaluing cash for that loaf of bread. But let's say 1 out of the 10 had a silver eagle, right? I guarantee you that the guy with the silver eagle is going to get the loaf of bread, okay? Because that person's going to understand at that point that this is the most valuable item. If you get currency, the currency's devaluing maybe by the moment. In other words, if you don't spend it right away, it's going to buy you less and less every hour, every day that goes by. This is what happens when currencies fail, right? Now, you're not going to use gold to buy the loaf of bread because an ounce of gold might be worth $5,000 an ounce. There's no way the person can change it for you. So you hold gold for your ultimate savings, okay? You'll have silver for the day-to-day needs or a civil unrest situation that you might come across. But I also think you should consider the lesser-known metals, platinum and palladium, which are sister metals. They're usually mined in tandem with one another. Just to give you an idea, I described how big the cube of gold is. All the gold above ground melted into a giant cube measures 20 yards by 20 yards by 20 yards, okay? Platinum is 14 times more rare than gold. Well, that's a small amount, right? Yes, it is. If you melted all the platinum that exists above ground in the world, poured it into an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you could jump into the pool and the platinum level won't even reach the top of your ankles, okay? These are called precious metals for a reason, all right? Platinum is used mostly in jewelry and high-tech applications. What makes platinum and palladium so unique is that they have a 4,000 degree melting point. So because of such a high melting point, they have a a high degree of use in highly technological applications, and the uses for it are growing by leaps and bounds year in and year out. There's always more and more need for high melting point metals like platinum and palladium. The biggest usage of platinum palladium, aside from jewelry, is in the catalytic converters of our cars. Tiny amounts are used to coat the catalytic converters. It makes them work much more efficiently, and it helps in pollution control. Catalytic converters are all about pollution control. So every car manufactured in the United States has been using platinum or palladium, depending on which one's cheaper. The car companies retool their equipment to use one or the other. Right now they're using more platinum than palladium, but the palladium price is lower than platinum. Platinum's $1,500 an ounce, palladium is $700 an ounce. Okay, that could easily flip-flop. So there's different reasons to own the metals. I personally like palladium because palladium is so rare, okay, but you can still buy it in investor form, in bar or coin form. And I just think it's such a small market that if there was ever a confiscation of physical metals again, palladium wouldn't even be on the radar screen. That's why I like it. PAMP, Credit Suisse make bars of palladium or platinum. Coins, there are some mints that will make palladium and platinum coins. The U.S. Treasury makes the Platinum Eagle. The Canadian Mint makes the Canadian Maple Leaf Platinum